Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Path of Glory, the channel where we turn your English journey into a confident, natural experience. I'm Emma.
And I'm Michael. We're so glad you're here for another Advanced English podcast. Today, we're diving deep into something every serious learner wants: mastering advanced vocabulary so you can speak like an academic and think like a native.
Yes, this episode is all about how words shape your thinking. We're not just learning big words, we're learning how to use them, how to feel their tone, rhythm, and purpose in real communication.
Exactly, because knowing vocabulary isn't enough. You could memorize thousands of words, but if you can't apply them naturally, they're just sleeping in your memory.
That's right. Vocabulary mastery is about activation. The difference between someone who knows English and someone who lives in English is how they activate words in conversation, writing, and thought.
So, in this episode, we'll talk about three major areas: how advanced vocabulary changes the way you think, how to internalize vocabulary instead of memorizing it, and how to use advanced words naturally in daily and academic English.
Let's begin with the first one: how words shape the way we think.
Here's a famous saying: "The limits of my language mean the limits of my world." It means that language is not just about communication, it's the frame through which we experience reality.
Exactly. The more precise and varied your vocabulary, the more nuanced your thoughts become. For example, think about the word see. A beginner says, "I see." An intermediate learner says, "I notice," or "I observe." An advanced speaker might say, "I perceive a subtle change," or "I discern a pattern."
And each one adds depth. Perceive suggests understanding beyond what's visible. Discern adds an analytical element, the ability to notice fine differences.
So when you master advanced vocabulary, you don't just sound smarter, you think in a more sophisticated way. You can describe emotions, analyze ideas, and express opinions more precisely.
And this is why native-like fluency is not only about pronunciation or grammar, it's about developing a conceptual vocabulary that mirrors how educated native speakers process ideas.
That's such an important point. Advanced vocabulary gives you flexibility. It allows you to switch between tones: formal, persuasive, or conversational, depending on the situation.
Let's move to our second idea: internalization. Most learners think that memorizing word lists is the way to success, but memory fades if it's not emotionally or contextually connected.
Exactly. Internalization means absorbing a word into your speech pattern until it becomes second nature. It's the difference between "I know this word" and "I use this word naturally."
And the key to that process is context repetition. Let's say you learn the verb emphasize. You could repeat it in many ways. She emphasized the importance of teamwork. The teacher emphasized pronunciation practice. I want to emphasize one point.
Each time you reuse the word, you connect it with different emotions and images.
Exactly. And over time, you're not just repeating, you're reinforcing the neural pathways in your brain. That's when a word becomes part of your active vocabulary.
Yes, and that's how you turn one new word into 4 or 5 tools you can use anywhere. And another great tip: try shadowing advanced English podcasts or TED Talks. Repeat phrases like a musician practices rhythm.
Right, because language has music. The rhythm, tone, and emotional energy of native speakers help you internalize not only meaning, but feeling.
Now let's talk about using advanced vocabulary naturally, not to impress people, but to express yourself more precisely.
Exactly. One common mistake advanced learners make is overusing big words. They sound unnatural or forced. True mastery is when your advanced vocabulary sounds effortless.
For instance, instead of saying utilize, sometimes use is just right. The context determines the tone. Academic essays, utilize. Daily conversation, use.
That's balance, choosing the right register for the situation.
Great speakers shift gears smoothly between everyday English and academic English.
Let's take an example. Imagine two people explaining the same idea. Person A says, "We need to make things better." Person B says, "We need to optimize our process."
Both mean improvement, but the second sounds more precise and professional. Words like optimize, streamline, enhance, or refine carry subtle shades of meaning that make your speech sharper.
Yes, and in academic or business context, using precise verbs and collocations shows you understand nuance. Instead of make a plan, you could say formulate a strategy. Instead of make a change, implement a reform.
Exactly. The magic is in collocations, how words naturally pair. That's what gives advanced vocabulary its native-like feel.
Right. You don't just learn the word decision. You learn make a decision, reach a decision, reverse a decision. Context is everything.
And the more you read and listen, the more your brain automatically stores these collocations. That's why we say advanced vocabulary isn't built in the dictionary. It's built in exposure.
Let's move deeper. What does it mean to think like a native?
It's not about accent or idioms. It's about patterns of association. Native speakers don't translate. They associate words directly with ideas, images, and emotions.
Yes. For example, when a native speaker says, "I can't wrap my head around it," they don't think of head literally. They feel the meaning. I can't understand it fully.
And this is the goal for advanced learners, to connect emotion with expression. When you learn new vocabulary, visualize it. Imagine it in action. Attach it to a feeling.
Exactly. Don't just memorize resilient, feel resilience. Picture yourself overcoming something difficult. Make the language personal.
And the more personal language becomes, the easier it is to recall, because emotion is memory's best friend.
Now, let's give our listeners some real strategies they can start using today.
Absolutely. Here are 5 effective methods to master advanced vocabulary. 1. Read deeply, not widely. Pick one article or essay and dissect it. Notice how words connect, what adjectives describe which nouns, what verbs fit what situations.
2. Use active note-taking. Instead of writing new words in a list, write them in sentences that relate to your life. For example, I want to cultivate better study habits.
3. Speak them out loud. If you never say a word, your mouth never learns it. Say it. Record yourself. Shadow advanced speakers.
4. Recycle vocabulary in new contexts. Use the same word in a new situation. If you learned implement, use it with work, school, or hobbies. I implemented a new routine. We implemented changes at work.
5. Engage with native content that challenges you. TED Talks, interviews, debates, not for entertainment, but for structure. Pause, repeat, imitate.
These techniques train your subconscious mind to think in advanced English patterns.
Let's recap today's key ideas.
First, advanced vocabulary changes how you think. It expands your mental world.
Second, don't memorize. Internalize through context and emotion.
Third, use words naturally. It's not about showing off. It's about clarity and confidence.
And finally, connect emotion to language. Feel the words. Live them.
Exactly. Because true mastery isn't about having a big vocabulary. It's about owning your words.
Now, here's your challenge for today. Choose 5 advanced words you've learned recently. Write a short paragraph using them naturally. No definitions, just storytelling.
And when you're done, say it out loud. Record yourself. Notice how those words feel in your mouth and mind.
Post your examples in the comments. We love reading your progress and creativity.
And remember, language mastery is a journey. Every word you learn is a step closer to expressing your real self.
Beautifully said.
Thank you all for joining us today. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep growing with Path of Glory.
See you in the next episode, where we continue to shape not only your English, but your way of thinking.
Goodbye for now, and don't forget, the more you speak, the more you shine.